Thought this was just another day when I saw you from across the way. You looked at me and hey.
What up, YouTube? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a collab with two of my very good friends. One is CourtneyKH. She's my bestest good friend. And also another really good friend of mine is Krista B. And we are doing a collab together, and we were all three going to create a video that includes looks made with the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss palette. And I've been telling you guys that I've kind of been in the mind frame of wanting to return to things in my collection that I either didn't give very much love to, or didn't touch at all, or just didn't give a fair shot just to see what it could actually do. And so my little philosophy is give the palette a week, use it every day, dig into it, see what you can come up with, and maybe you'll find that it does a lot more than you thought it could, or maybe you'll find that it's just not very versatile. But either way, you'll know whether it's something that you might consider decluttering or something that you know is going to be a permanent part of your collection. So you guys know I'm extra. I always do the most, right? So I started on a Sunday and I went all the way through a Friday, and I did a look with this palette every day. And so in this video, I'm going to show you pictures of the looks that I did, along with showing you what shades I used in the palette, and also there will be a demo of one of the eye looks at the end of the video. After my video, please go visit Krista and Courtney and check out their channel and their video. I'll have all their information linked in the cards, and I will also have their videos linked down in the description box for you. Please go check out their channels, say hi, tell them that I sent you, and check out their video for our collab, please, and thank you. So with no further ado, let's get into these looks I created with the Bling Boss by Jaclyn Hill. Maybe I should have let you see it. Let's get into it. Alright guys, the very first look that I created with this palette, I just kind of wanted to get my feet wet. I didn't have a lot of time to experiment, so I wanted something pretty simple. And what I did is I started with the transition, which is the only transition in this palette, which I think is a limitation of the palette, and it's called Hush Hush. So I started with that. I put it mostly in my outer corner and used it as my transition shade. I then went into Rockstar and concentrated that on the outer corner of the eye, just to bring some color and some warmth to the outer corner. I then took the shade Bling Bling and used that to highlight my inner corner and blended it all out. I also used Hush Hush and a little bit of Rockstar on my lower lash line. I love that Rockstar in the outer corner and on the lower third of my lower lash line. I love the richness of this color. I will say that all of the deeper shades in this palette take a little bit of finesse. You do have to blend them for a while and build them up where it's opaque. So some people that don't have a lot of experience with that may have some issues with that, but you know I'm gonna make it work, girl. I'm gonna make it work. Alright guys, the next look I created again with the Hush Hush shade for the transition. I then again went into Rockstar and put that out on the outer corner and pulled it into the crease. I went on to further deepen it with the shade Mystic, which is the darker burgundy shade, and I used that to really deepen out the outer corner and the crease. I took Rockstar and Mystic, mixed them together and used them on the lower lash line close to the lash line, and then took the shade Hush Hush on a fluffy brush to blend that out on the bottom. I took the shade Bling Bling again for my inner corner highlight and also used it a little bit underneath my brow bone. This is not the ideal brow bone highlight shade, but there is not a white, vanilla, cream, any kind of matte lighter shade in this palette, and that's also something that I consider a little bit of a limitation. But when you're dealing with a 5-pan palette, there's not room for all of that, especially if you're on a theme like this one is with the pinks and purples. Alright guys, the next look, I basically wanted to go kind of all out and ran out of time, and so it became a more basic look. I didn't have enough time to finesse it like I would have liked to, but it did turn out pretty. The pictures don't really do it justice, and I'll explain why here in a second. But I started off again with the Hush Hush shade for the transition. I then went in with the shade Rockstar in my outer and inner corner. I wanted to just leave the inner part, the middle part of my lid completely open, including the crease line, rather than doing like a halo eye. I wanted that shade to come up towards the top and just really show out above when my eyes were open. What I think kind of happened was it looked unfinished, or at least it looked unfinished to me, and in the pictures the berry shade, the Rockstar shade, doesn't show up very well, so you can't really see what I was going for. But I did put the Rockstar shade on the outer corner and inner corner. I did not pull it into the crease. And then finally I took the shade Bling Bling and put that on the middle area that I left open with my finger. So this is kind of a soft look. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and it didn't turn out exactly like I wanted it, but I had something on my face and all I was doing was going to work. So that's what I had for the third look. Alright guys, my fourth look, I really wanted to see if I could pull something warm out of this palette, and I think I succeeded. I also wanted to really have one of the darker colors on my eyelid, and I really didn't know that this color Pizzazz was going to come off so light and so warm, but I like the way it turned out. So I began with Hush Hush as my transition, as per usual, and I took the shade Pizzazz with my finger and put it across my entire lid all the way up to the crease, and then kind of blended it up into the crease. After that, it just kind of looked like it needed something, and so I went into the really dark berry color called Berry Treasure, and I just used that on the very immediate outer corner, and I just slightly pulled it into the crease. I wanted to keep it out on the outer corner. I also used the color Pizzazz along with the color Berry Treasure on my lower lash line. So it put some darkness out there. I wasn't super happy with this one either because I had difficulty blending out the Berry Treasure. It just is one of those kind of problematic shades that you can get to work and it will provide some darkness, but it's not going to look seamlessly blended. And that is my fourth look. The next look is kind of like a second attempt at the one that I said didn't turn out like I wanted because I didn't have enough time, where I started with Hush Hush. I also used Rockstar in the inner and outer corner, but I went on to also add Mystic in the inner and outer corner. Again, I did not pull these all the way across to make a halo eye. I wanted the middle of the lid left just where it was going to go all the way up into the crease. I again used the shade Bling Bling in the middle and used my finger to apply that. And I also used a combination of Rockstar and Mystic on my lower lash line. And now you're back with me. We're in present time. I just got through filming the demo for the look that's on my face right now, so I'll go ahead and tell you what I used. I wanted to show you that you could get a really dark and smoky look using this palette as well. I did use a transition from this palette, which was sickening. From the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette. I just wanted a warm transition above because I knew I was going to do a color gradient. And so after that, I went in with the shade Hush Hush and I put that all over my crease on my outer corner and on my inner corner. After I laid down the transition and blended it out, I went in to the outer corner all the way across my crease to the inner corner with this Berry Treasure. again, I had some difficulty with some patchiness, and so I pulled in the shade Rockstar and put that around the outside of it, and that kind of pokes out above, and I like the way that that added some color. I took it into the crease all the way on the inner and outer corner as well. You can't really see that color, but it did help this kind of patchiness blend out a little bit. And from there, I took the shade Ballsy, which is this one right here, and smudged it all over my lid. I had to kind of reapply it a couple times. On my lower lash line, I did the same thing. I took the transition from the Life's a Drag palette. I followed up with Hush Hush. I then went into I then went into Berry Treasure and put that real close to my lash line and blended it out with Rockstar. And then finally with Hush Hush went back in and just blended it out. I put Bling Bling on my inner corner. I put it with a wet brush so that it would show up more, and I did not put it on my brow bone this time. I'm kind of looking at myself thinking maybe I should do that. How about I just do that? I don't really care for a really frosty or sparkly brow bone highlight, but I don't particularly like to not have it highlighted whenever I have a really smoky look on. I feel like a light color up on the brow bone really kind of accentuates the line up there and balances it out a little bit. So there you go. It won't be in the pictures, but you got to see it anyway.
Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back. Real brother, step forward. Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back. Real brother, step forward. Thought this was just another day when I saw you from across the way. You looked at me and hey, and I wanna know what you're thinking at this point in time. Tell me what's on your mind. So he's like, I think we met before. You're that girl from Stella, California. You don't like the rain. A Gemini 256 on a good day. And I already know what you're thinking at this point in time. Tell me what's on your mind. So I said, you're that piece of gum stuck on my shoe. That phone bill 3 weeks overdue. Like the note that's not in the court. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. You're that piece of gum stuck on my shoe. That phone bill 3 weeks overdue. Like the note that's not in the court. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. So I try to walk away, not a game I wanna play. Don't look at me, you're fake. And I don't really know what you're doing at this point in time. Boy, you ain't so sly. So I'm like, you're that piece of gum stuck on my shoe. That phone bill 3 weeks overdue. Like the note that's not in the court. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. You're that piece of gum stuck on my shoe. That phone bill 3 weeks overdue. Like the note that's not in the court. Hell no, stand back, now bring it to the court. Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. Real brother, step forward. Hell no, stand back, real brother, step forward. was just another day when I saw you from across the way. You looked at me and hey, and I wanna know what you're thinking at this point in time. Tell me what's on your mind. So he's like, I think we met before. You're that girl from Stella, California. You don't like the rain. A Gemini 256 on a good day. And I already know what you're thinking at this point in time. Tell me what's on your mind. So I said, you're that piece of gum stuck on my shoe.
So anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do a lot more like this. Like I've told you, I really want to dig into my collection. I really want to dig into some palettes, and I just really enjoy this. This is fun to me, and I also think it's extremely helpful for you guys, because if you have this palette and you don't have a clue how to use it, I'm kind of trying to run the gamut from really simple to kind of extra and complex, where you could try these anywhere in between according to your skill level or whatever time frame you have for that day. And for me, that's extremely helpful. I love videos like that. So please let me know if you do like these, if these are interesting to you, if these are helpful to you, and if you'd like me to do more of these. I'm probably going to do them for my own benefit anyway, but I hope they will benefit you as well. And you know, maybe you haven't even touched a palette in a long time and you see me do this kind of video with it. You take it out, dust it off, give it some love, and then what? You're using your collection? What? You're enjoying the makeup that you bought? Hey, that's a fringe benefit. So anyway, I really just wanted to thank Krista and Courtney for collabing with me on this. It was really fun for us to go back and forth and talk about what we did and show each other along the way. It was just super fun, and I really enjoyed it. And those two girls are incredible. They both have really good channels. They both have really awesome skills. They're just overall really great people, and I love them so much. So I love you girls. Thank you so much for collabing with me. Make sure you go check out their channel. Like I said, I've got all the info where you need it. So go check them out. And thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye guys.
Tell me what's on your mind.
What up, Facebook? Please go ahead and after you watch my video, please go visit my friends. It is a little bit hard to bling. I went into further deepen that with so anyway, I just really wanted to thank
like the note that's not in the court, hell no, stand back.